Well, there's been a lot of talk over the last few days about daylight saving time. Of course, we sprung those clocks forward over the weekend, early Sunday morning, so you might have lost an hour of sleep. But of course, the big win with that time change is that we now have later sunsets. And I know a lot of folks are excited about that. So let me show you where we are right now so we can make sense of all the chatter that's been happening over the last 24 to 48 hours about possibly moving to daylight saving time permanently. Today, on your Wednesday evening, the sun will set at just about 7:30, and we continue to make those sunsets a little bit later over the course of the next month and over the next 6 weeks. We eventually get back to 8 o'clock sunsets as we head over the next month or so. Sunrise this morning just before 7:30. Those also start to get a little bit earlier as well over the next month. We move back to about 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, and over the next 6 weeks, we eventually get back to 6:30 a.m. sunrises. But what if we were to take daylight saving time and make it permanent? Well, there's a lot we have to talk about. Here's a couple dates for you to keep in mind, a couple milestones. By November 15th, if we didn't roll those clocks back in the fall, well, our sunrise would be just before 8 o'clock and our sunset would be about 6:12 in the evening. It gives us about 10 hours and 15 minutes of daylight. You go about a month later to December 15th and our sunrise is almost at 8:30. Still, our sunset is still after 6 o'clock at about 6:06. You go all the way down into the brand new year, January 15th, and our sunrise is even closer to 8:30, and our sunset now is starting to get a little bit later at about 6:30. That gives you about 9 hours and 58 minutes of daylight. But here's a couple things to keep in mind. The earliest sunrise would be at 6:02. We normally have that in the summer on daylight saving time. Latest sunrise, though, would be at 8:31 a.m. That would make for a pretty dark morning. Now, on the contrary to that, earliest sunset would be 6:05 p.m. That's the earliest that the sun would set in the Piedmont. Latest sunset would be 8:40 p.m. We already do that in the middle of the summer. And by the way, the longest day, daylight terms, speaking of the year, falls in June when we change over to summer.